Hyperdellic.
Hey kids, it's Hyperdellic, and today we've got a G.I. Joe Classified Series figure that handles high pressure better than most collectors handle pre-order situations. And let me tell you, when this one went up for pre-order, I was like, oh, I gotta have him. I will point out real quick, they just call him Wetsuit. He doesn't have like that crazy name thing that they've been doing. Now, we're gonna be switching up the format just a little bit. You want the funny stuff? You keep watching. We're going to try and get straight to the meat and potatoes for those of you who just want to see the figure. I get it. I'm listening. I hear you. We're going to move. Beautiful box presentation. We've got this side thing with this goofy QR code that really doesn't tell you anything. We've got some little digit, symbol-y things. I don't know what they mean. I don't really care what they mean. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter. Backside, we've got all those little symbols again and some phenomenal looking toy photography. I really do like what Hasbro does, and I know a lot of you out there love that too. Toy photography is not, it's not easy. It is actual photography, and if you don't get it right, it doesn't always look good. Here's the other side, nice little illustration. He is number 179 in the series. I'm not going to pretend that like I have all 179. I maybe have, well, at least a third. But here's your top, and here's the bottom with all the barcode information. And for the sake of all of those who want to get into it, we're going to dive right in. All right, let's do it.
Splish, splash, I was taking a bath. Wetsuit in the tub tonight. Rubber dub, I was checking his stuff. Everything is looking tight.
All right, and we're back. And I'm just going to go out and say, this guy is so awesome, he's making me wet. Oh, so sorry. All right, so I know what some of you are saying to yourself, like already. You're like, that don't look like Wetsuit. I know. Let's talk about some of these accessories. First off, we've got his mask. Okay? Now we're going to check this out a little better close up in a few minutes. We're going to pack him out, and we're going to pop this mask on. And I'm going to say, look at that. His head popped off while I was doing that. That was not an easy task to perform. So now he's got these hoses hanging off. Now it looks like you could probably, you can pop the hoses off, right? But he also comes with his tank or backpack or whatever the heck you want to label it. So we're going to plop that on him, and it looks like he's got multiple points that attach. So he's got these two little pegs here and that peg in the middle. Thank you, Hasbro. That is awesome. Keeping the pack from moving all over the place. Obviously, you can't keep the hoses from popping out constantly, but hey, things were done. Does Hasbro always make the most stable figure ever? No, not always. Alright, so we plop that on. We're going to plug in these little spots right here. Okay. And then, bam. So, next accessory he comes with, that obviously makes him Wetsuit, are his swim fins. And they look pretty good. I mean, this is definitely an upgrade over the ones that we used to get when we were kids. I mean, those ones were always like super generic and, didn't have any real detail to them or anything. These are pretty good. Again, we will look at them closer later. But I do want to point out that it has a peg hole spot in it that lines up, it looks like, with the peg hole. That's kind of awesome. This figure already feels like it was engineered with a lot of our gripes in mind. Like, a lot of our gripes in mind. All right, so now we got him finned out. Now he comes with a couple of weapons / accessories. He comes with this knife. It's a decent little knife. It's just a basic little, I don't know what you call this kind of knife, but it is a fixed blade, which is what most of the Classified Series figures come with. There's no like switchblades or nothing that we see. That would be cool, but I would say that probably takes quite a bit of engineering. All right, and he comes with a pew pew. I gotta assume this is an underwater pew pew. I hope so, because otherwise he's janked. And that fits in his little holster right there. We will do, again, more close-up on some of these details in just a little bit. But for now, we just want to do the pack-up. Alright, so there's that. Now, he also comes with this handy-dandy little flashlight, because it gets dark under the water, and it's got a little hand, or a little lanyard that, can keep him from losing it. And it's not super quick and easy to pop it in his hand, but it gets in there. Okay, so we got that. Now, last accessory. And probably the coolest one that he comes with. He comes with a vehicle. Sort of. It's one of those little underwater jet things to propel him through the water. I assume it probably goes like this. Oh wait, no, we got it on the picture right there. So it goes like this. So we're gonna plop this in his hand, and he doesn't have like, it's not like a normal handle looking thing, so I guess we're just gonna kind of finagle it into his hand. You know what? We might have to pull that off. Oh, maybe we won't. Okay, well, here, we'll... this is proving to be a little bit more difficult than I thought. So, problem here is that these fingers curl a lot, so like maybe if you pop them open real quick, like that, then maybe you can get it around. There we go, I got it. We had to go about that the hard way, but we got there. This armband thing. Oh, and of course it came off. So, I mean, expect to be a little bit frustrated with her trying to put this thing in his hand. But I mean, overall, I still think it's an awesome accessory. Oh my god, get on there already. His thumb is doing unnatural things as far as human anatomy goes. But there we go. All right, so that's outstanding. That works. He is phenomenal, and I love it. I think this is probably my favorite of them all so far. Well, I don't know. Honestly, there's some amazing bangers in the Classified series, but overall, I think he is phenomenal. We're gonna do our close-up now. We're gonna do QC check, and we're gonna take a look at some of the finer points of him and all of his accessories. All right, let's do that now.
Hyperdellic.
Okay, we are zoomed in and looking at all of his splendiferous beauty. Good lord. Okay, so this helmet is phenomenal. I don't see any major QC issues with it. I believe that they did a really nice job with this helmet, but I'm going to say this much. It is hard to keep the eyes lined up with that face mask. That's a little annoying. This could probably be easily remedied by a little bit of blue tack or one of those sticky tabs that I talk about from Amazon all the time. These things are phenomenal. There are only a couple of times you can reuse them a couple of times. I gotta assume that you could probably like rinse it off because it's that weird gooey, gummy kind of sticky material stuff, but it doesn't leave marks on the figures. It does come off easily. Doesn't usually leave any residue behind. I have experienced no problems with them, and I've been using them for years. So, but yeah, that is kind of crazy annoying. It's like, I just want it to stay on. But since we're zoomed in on the head, I'm gonna pop the helmet. Oh, I guess I'm just gonna pop the whole head off. Looks like, because they took the time to give him some detail, but I have no idea how I'm gonna get that head out. Ugh, that wasn't easy. That was not. That was kind of annoying. That face he's like mean mugging me. It's not cool. You change your tone of face. But yeah, this is what apparently a wetsuit looks like without his helmet on. And there's a little scuff right there or something from the helmet. It looks like it's orange, and I got to assume that his head is not orange. But the helmet isn't painted orange. That's just weird. Or maybe it is. Maybe it's painted orange. It looks like there might actually be paint on the outside of it. Yeah, it is. It is. They painted the helmet orange. I don't know why they did that. That's weird. It looks like it's multiple pieces of plastic. What? Oh, okay. So, I get what's going on here now. Okay, so it is a clear piece of plastic. Oops. It's a clear piece of plastic that's been painted on. Okay, so like all of the other details, like if you look inside, you can see how it's clear. But that's why all of the colors blend. So the whole thing has been painted. So be careful with this. Why there's paint on the inside? Hopefully that's just like residual. But yeah. And then you pop these in. These like to pop out on you easily. You could always glue them in, but you're gonna lose its ability to rotate inside that connection there. And I don't know if you want to do that. Posability wise, that would be a bad idea. But we're gonna move on along. He's got a single peg neck piece, which sucks because he's supposed to be a swimmer. So like he's got to be able to put his head back, and you can't really do that very well. Unfortunately, you can get a little bit extra if you want to push the helmet, but then you got to ignore that his face is coming out. So that is a little disappointing. It's a little disappointing, right? He can kind of bend back this far articulation wise, but then the backpack wants to pop out because you're going beyond it appears where the backpack was supposed to be able to flex. Apparently they didn't think he was going to be swimming a lot. There's his butt. Yeah, buddy. He works out. Look at that. He must be doing some squats. He's got some nice little pimples up there. Anyways, and he's got the classic, that iconic, like, shark, bird, dolphin, whatever the heck this is supposed to be. This is the old school, like, that was on the old figure from the American, Real American Hero line. And it's, you know, they threw it in there. I mean, he hits all the right nostalgic, like, points. All of it. Like, that was one of the things when it came up on pre-order, I was like, oh, I gotta get him. I'm like, they did him right. Like, the backpack looks phenomenal. I mean, it definitely triggers that feeling of, like, when I had that old figure. Come on down. We're looking. He's got the butterfly joints on up in the shoulders. That's nice. Yeah, they thought of articulation up there. He's got a bicep cut up there, so he can swivel. Double jointed elbows. So he can do cool stuff like this. Pick his nose, maybe. Pinless everywhere. No pins anywhere. Fantastic. Thank you, Hasbro, for using your current level of technology. Okay, so we're gonna go down further to the wrist. We have this bracelet, or I don't know if it's a swim bracelet or what is that. I'm not sure. The other side is a watch. But it's a separate piece, so be careful with that if you pop the hands off. He doesn't come with extra hands, which is a change. That's different. Usually we get 10 bazillion more hands with G.I. Joe Classifieds. He does not appear... Oh, wait, no. There's a little bit of a drop-down hip. It's not crazy, but there is a little bit there. And I want to say this much. They've sculpted all of this really nicely to where it just looks almost seamless. Like, you can forgive the articulation a lot on this figure right there, like in the crotch. I mean, you know, I'm not trying to bring your attention to his crotch, but, you know, it's there. We're going to scoot on down. He does have a hip cut to swivel right there. It's hidden by his holsters, but yeah, he's got those. And then he's got a double jointed knee. Let's see if we can get it all the way activated. Yeah, there we go. Not quite butt kicking, but close enough. I mean, you're definitely going to get some nice swim poses out of this. You know, we move on down. He has a boot cut right here near the ankle, and then an ankle pin rocker dumbbell situation. He goes this far, and then he goes that far back, almost completely parallel with the leg. So that's nice. Like, you can get that cool swimmer pose going with him, right? I did skip the waist, and I want to come back and talk about it because they do this with G.I. Joe Classified, and it annoys me that Hasbro doesn't normally do this with, like, Marvel Legends or any of their other figure lines. He has an ab crunch, which sometimes I could take it or leave it, especially with their ab crunches, because a lot of times it'll get loose in that ab crunch. Like, there's a little bit of give right there already. So you be careful, because if you hear... Anyway, I'll get closer to my... Hear that clicking? Yeah. Eventually that click, or whatever the notch is that makes that click, eventually that's going to wear out. So keep that in mind, kids. We're going to move on down. And while we're doing this, I want to take a look at the paint. And so far, all of the paint on this figure looks outstanding. Phenomenal. I don't see any slop anywhere. I'm very pleased. Hasbro typically does have pretty good QC. And I'm going to say that, pretty good. It's never perfect, but I would say that this one is pretty much close. My only QC issues are, like, the helmet is a potential hazard in the long run as far as scuffing goes. It may potentially even scuff the figure if there is paint on the inside. I don't think there is. I think maybe I just hit it the wrong way. But yeah, usually G.I. Joe Classified series paint applications are really clean and really well done. I mean, like, you know, again, we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the face printing technology that all of these figures have. I mean, there's actual, like, small, tiny details in the eye, you know, like, you know, paint or sticker, whatever the heck they use. I mean, it's paint, obviously, but that's incredible. Like, the amount of detail that we get with action figures these days. I mean, like, if you don't believe me, like, I don't have my old wetsuit for the comparison. I'll try and see if I can maybe throw a picture of classic, you know, like a Real American Hero wetsuit in here. Maybe right here. But yeah, like, we loved those figures when we were kids, and they were not, like, if you look at them nowadays and compare them to the detail that we have now, nothing close. Like, it's almost atrocious how bad. Even the Super 7 re-releases have, like, what I consider to be far better details done on them than the classic versions of them do. So yeah, again, I want to take a look real quick at his fins because I want you to see like these details. I love that like kind of aquatic, biological look that it has going on. Like it looks high tech and biological, like something out of an alien sci-fi, series or something like that. It's fantastic. I love it. It's really good. Okay, so now I know that my G.I. Joe fans out there, they are big on their guns. And here, we're gonna zoom in closer so that you can see all of the details of this gun. And like, it looks like it's probably mirrored. Yeah, well, there's a little bit of different detail on the other side. It looks like the safety is there and stuff like that. But yeah, that's his pew pew. We're gonna plop that in there. And I wanted to zoom in again also because what I would like to do is take a look at this backpack and its details. We found a little bit of paint rub off. Oh, but that was just a fleck of paint. Which more than likely came from one of the joints. Sometimes you get some residual paint that gets stuck in there, and then when you action the joints, it kind of pops out. And like, okay, so like this is like 5 times the zoom right here, right? And what you can see is that the painting is not 100% spot on, but I'm going to tell you this much. I'm looking at my screen, and then I'm looking back at the figure, and I almost can't even see how that happens. Like, close up, you can see it. Normal eye view, you're never going to see that, I don't think. Not unless you, like, put it right next to your face and have amazing, amazing vision. Which, let me tell you, I do not. And again, there's the butt shot again. There's his knife. There's the wristwatch. Let's take a look at some of the other details that are on his body. All of the packs and the straps that go around. This harness has everything other than the belt. So like all of these bits are one piece, and then we have this separate belt that does another piece. I definitely love the aqua color. That's my wife's favorite color as well. So I'm very fond of it. It was like my favorite color in the 80s, right? You throw this with some pink, and man, you got 80s all over the place. But it goes so well with that orange. It is a really nice looking figure. All right, so we're gonna take a look at this bad boy, and yeah, really close up, it looks really good. Looks really good. I love the fact that he comes with this. G.I. Joe Classified series does a really nice job of the details, right? They put a lot of work into making these realistic because that's the community. G.I. Joe Classified series community, there's a lot of people who love that realism, who like that, like the military aspect of all of it. I always like the sci-fi aspect of G.I. Joe. That was what did it for me, but I think that it is phenomenal that they are continuing. And I'm gonna say this much: I'm almost done collecting. Like the figures that I really want, they've been done mostly, so I'm almost good. There are a few retro carded figures that I need. I still need to get a Serpentor. Ooh, look at that, I'm a little shaky, getting old. But yeah, and then we take a look at this flashlight, and this flashlight is a great example of exactly what I'm talking about. Like there's all these little details that might be meaningless, but to the eye, it makes it rich. It makes it very full of character. I love that they take the time to do all the paint. It looks like maybe, I don't know if this is one piece or not. It looks like it is, and the black part is painted. But then again, I don't know. That's so clean that I think the black part is a separate piece, and then they painted the silver on it. But obviously, this part is painted too. So that's all it is. But yeah, that's our close-up of our swimmer. All right, let's swim this way, and we'll do our final thoughts.
Hyperdellic.
All right, final thoughts time. And first off, I'm going to say this. This figure just kind of takes me back a little bit. Makes me feel like a kid again. No, I did not smell the plastic. I hate it when people do that. Although I will do that every now and again with my vintage figures. Especially Mossman and Stinkor. But I will say this much. My wetsuit always smelled like the bathtub. Because, he was a swimmer, so I had to take him in the water, and of course that rusted his screws and everything everywhere, and that's not really good for action figures. So do less tub time with this one, because even though he doesn't have any metal bits, the water is still going to mess with the paint and stuff like that. And just remember, this should go up on your shelf, not in your tub. And it also reminds me of, I don't remember if it was Delirious or Raw, but one of Eddie Murphy's stand-ups, he talks about taking his G.I. Joes into the tub and how they swim into the dark cave. Yep. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you've got some homework to do. And trust me, it's painless homework. It'll make you laugh. Eddie Murphy's first 2 stand-up comedy specials were outstanding. They were some of the best comedy you're going to get from the 80s ever. But yeah, you'll love it. On a scale of 1 to 10, where am I going to put this figure? I'm going to give him a 9.8. The helmet irks the living crap out of me, and the fact that I have to do a fix for it sort of makes me upset. But I can live. It is the most minor of possible gripes. The only thing I would also say is that be careful, because it seems like some of their paint choices are a little, you know, there's places where you're gonna potentially rub off paint if you're moving stuff, like those weapon harnesses on his legs and the weapon harnesses on his arms. That's all painted, okay, as well as the white area of his torso. Those are all painted parts with stuff that likes to rub. So don't be surprised if some of that decides to rub away if you're real aggressive with your figures. Again, don't be aggressive with your figures. They're just action figures, bro. They didn't do nothing to harm you. We'll get him spinning so you can see all of his aspects while I'm rambling here about my figure. Overall, I think that the QC on him is pretty good. He does suffer from a tough stand-up position. Like, you have to like kind of maneuver him correctly. My figure's ankles are sort of weak. I don't know if yours will be the same, but, you know, something to consider. I could tighten that up by throwing some goop in there, some kind of a, you know, something, but I usually try not to unless it's absolutely necessary. The nostalgia factor is here, right? They did an amazing job of representing the original figure. I think that the accessories are phenomenal. I think that overall, he does what I love in a figure. You can pack him out with everything in his hands, and there is nothing loose left over. Those two things on the floor there, I mean, they can go in his hands. I just chose not to wrestle with it for this. Plus, it would have made him a little bit more top-heavy, and spinning might not work out so good. Overall, I love this figure. I genuinely think that this is a 9.8 as far as classified series figures go. But I'm also impartial, because Wetsuit was one of my favorite figures when I was a kid. I love the colors. The color contrast is fantastic. The fact that he's an underwater figure always added another layer of play that was super fun. I had the USS Flag, so having him dive off of the USS Flag and, you know, go swimming was always a thing. I had aquatic battles with figures that weren't even meant for aquatic battles, but, you know, because I had Wetsuit, I had to go there. So overall, I think you're going to be pleased with this. I know I am. I'm happy to put him up on a shelf. He's probably going to go and do some photos with me later, and you should check out my Instagram to look for that. I also post him to Facebook. But yeah, I think that he is going to be a lot of people's favorite figure of this year. He's not my favorite figure of this year, but he's going to be up there. And this year's favorite figures are going to be we're not going to be talking about a series at all. We're going to be talking about individual figures, period. I'm not going to do the whole lumping a bunch of, you know, characters together this year. And be on the lookout. I'm going to do my top 5 badonks of the year, because I don't think I can do 20 like I did a couple of years ago. that was a bit much. But yeah, we're gonna call them Gyats this year. We're gonna talk about their Gyats. so keep an eye out for that. That should be coming out just shortly after New Year's. But yeah. Oh, and speaking of the holidays, there is a review up for my Classic Santa from the Naughty or Nice collection. Check it out. I put a lot of work into it. It's fun. It's my Christmas special, basically. So enjoy that. Having said all of that, I love you all. Thank you for checking out the video. Thanks for making it this far. If you fast forwarded through stuff, go back and watch the important stuff. No, do what you gotta do. But yeah, if you want to help support my channel, do all the YouTubey stuff. Do the cheap stuff. Subscribe, hit the like button, hit it now. Hit it now. It's right there. You just have to, like, beep, you know, click it. It's fine. If you're on a computer, it's just a mouse click. If you're on your phone, tap it. Tap it now. Do it now. But do that. If you want to support me further, there is a link to my Patreon. I have not done much, but I'm going to try and beef it up sometime before the end of the year. Possibly in January. We're going to throw a few things on there. I'm working on some stuff. But it's not going to be amazing. It's just going to be free crap that you can watch. But yeah, overall, I think that you should support the arts. And if you want to support my arts, become a member. Or you can just throw me some contributions. There's also an Amazon link for figures if you want to buy one to have reviewed on this channel. It'll send it directly to me if you buy it through that link, and yeah, I will get it, and you don't have to worry about a thing. And then, you know, you just send me a message and say, hey, I'm sending you something. 'Tis Christmas time. It is the season for giving. Give to Hyperdellic. All right, kids. Again, I love you. Thank you all for checking out Wetsuit. I'm gonna stop right there on his booty and look back. Sultry light. He's gonna swim on up. We're gonna say goodbye.